In 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Hey there, welcome to Cryptids and Conspiracies on Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Welcome. Let me bring on my partners in crime. Let's start out with this guy.
If it's no Scottish, it's crap!
Hello. How's everyone
Hello.
doing?
I guess we'll find out. Whoop.
That's a good point, yeah. Hey.
Did it work? What happened? There we go. All right. Sorry. I got my whole thing jumped there. Lost my track.
Okay.
All right.
No problem.
All right. Next, we'll bring on this guy.
Abby someone. Abby who? Abby normal.
Hello. Hello there.
Welcome.
So we're talking fairies, like mythical creature, or like things out in our community.
Mythical creatures.
We did discuss that before we came on, and we decided it would be the mythical versions.
Damn.
Yeah.
For
We're not going to talk about the Castro or Lindsey Graham.
Those we can be proven.
For politically correct.
Of a doubt.
Yeah, no talk of Lindsey Graham tonight. Okay.
Oh
we go.
Boy.
Anyway. All right.
And we weren't going to get political.
Let's bring that black guy on.
The show is over.
That's not political. That's factual.
Nobody
anyway.
worries about upsetting a droid.
It's because a droid don't pull people's arms out of their sockets when they lose. Wookiees are known to do that.
Welcome.
Lindsey Graham, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I have to bring up that.
Actually, believe it or not, Drunk Craig's got a nephew. Fairies wear boots. You gotta believe me, Harry.
Hey there, Cotton. Welcome.
Well, believe it or not, but my Drunk Craig has a nephew who once was a part of a kind of a special interest group that was like criticizing border policy, and he once outed Lindsey Graham in his speech.
Nice.
And he's like, I thought everybody knew, you know.
Nice.
And John Stewart called him a human urinal cake. So there you go. Anyway.
Well, he does like guys in uniform.
There you go. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna talk about fairies, and we're not gonna talk about the Castro, or anybody in San Francisco.
Fairies.
We're talking about the mythical
Fairies.
Well, to get us started with this
pixies,
subject,
gnomes, goblins,
yeah,
orcs. I don't know what the
brownies,
Pixies.
there you go.
pixies.
There you go. Elton John. Here we go. Anyway,
Well,
all right. Let's get us started here. Got an
Yes.
introduction. So let me play this right quick.
Hurry up.
The term fairy nowadays for the most part has positive connotations, and from the media we consume, you'd be forgiven for thinking fairies such as Tinkerbell or the fairy godmother were the textbook definition. Although they do technically fall under the definition of what a fairy can be, I think it's best if we take this very Disney-esque depiction and ignore it for now. Which then begs the question, what is a fairy? Terms such as fae, fairfolk or fairy have been used across many European cultures, and they refer to physical beings or spirits with supernatural qualities. So given that very broad definition, a fairy can essentially be any mythical creature. It's not a specific type of creature, but more so a term used to categorize a whole bunch of creatures. Hence why fairy tales contain all manner of magical creatures, from dragons, elves, goblins, dwarves, and of course fairies. Sometimes they have a close connection to humans and are fairly benevolent, and other times their stories are much...
Don't want to get struck.
There you go.
no.
No. Well, it's like the Grimm's. So what are they called? Grimm's fairy tales. Okay. But it's a class of supernatural, creatures, and mostly the lore is mostly like Eastern European. Right. That's where a lot of it comes from. But all across the world, there's like different like fae mythology. Okay, in like the Arab countries, they call them jinn.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So those are considered
it's
kind of
like
like
in,
a form of fairy.
In Japan, well, they're not fairies, but they're what they call mysterious creatures. They call them tengu. And when they're depicted in art
tengu.
in Japan, they're red faced with big noses, long noses, and they straddle the line between benevolent, and then freaking in the middle. They don't really give a shit either way. And sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're indifferent. It kind of depends on the person they're dealing with. They've kind of had that around the world in different cultures. Those types of myths, Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's almost like alien myths, except the alien creatures are on the planet or are coming from the place. Abby knows some power chords I call fairies.
Yes, but they're fat and slow.
Anyway, thanks for bringing it up. Appreciate it. Anyway.
That didn't take long.
All right, starting early. All right. Anyway,
what they trade in their wings for Birkenstocks?
Let's just say they're devout Biden fans. Anyway,
carry on. Let's go. Yeah. Come on, keep moving forward now.
All right. Anyway, okay. This is the kinds. This is kind of like how they're organized, and especially Eastern European lore.
Hierarchy.
The hierarchy. Okay, here you go.
In Scotland, fairies are classified into two categories, which are now commonly used in several other countries. They are divided into the Seelie Court and the Unseelie Court. The Seelie Court are the fairies that wish to help humans. They are described as the most beautiful and vibrant of fairies. They seek out humans for favours, and in return offer assistance when needed through blessings and wishes. If they are offended by a human, they will always attempt to rectify the situation. These fairies are commonly associated with the spring and summer, as they prefer to be out in the light. The Unseelie Court are their much darker counterparts. They are hideous and have no interest in being friendly. They are most active in the autumn and winter, as they prefer to travel in the dark. They dabble in dark magic and will harm humans merely to entertain themselves. They also routinely steal human children, as they themselves are unable to reproduce. Fairies can also be categorized as trooping, solitary, and domesticated. Trooping refers to organized groups of fairies. Fairies that have formed their own society and have their own rules and laws to govern by. Solitary fairies prefer to be alone, and are almost always tricksters or sinister creatures. Domesticated fairies are normally part of a household. In exchange for their labour and service, they are given food and a place to stay. Fairies in general are normally described as very small human-like creatures with wings. However, their size can vary, as many of them can imitate humans in form. We also have many fairies who do not have wings, so there is no one-size-fits-all description for fairies.
Interesting.
In that last picture,
Yeah.
the one on the left reminded me of my second ex-wife.
Maybe it
Although
was.
maybe she was more ogre than fairy.
Yeah.
Thought she was
Who
parkour.
knows?
Oh,
Mhm.
fuck.
Well, fairies are known to steal souls, so it's possible.
Yes, there you go. The evil.
Well, those are succubuses.
Yeah, there you go. Stuck a what? Anyway,
Succubi.
bye. All right. Anyway, so I mean, the whole like Santa Claus myth and Krampus, that's also part of the fairy thing. Some people think that that's like an Anglicanized Christian version of fairy myth. So that
Well,
goes
he did have
back
dust on
generations.
Santa Claus.
And so, right, yeah, but so I mean, it over time, it's kind of like shifted somewhat, and so like I think the most famous case is of the fairy pictures. I think there you go. Wouldn't let fairies and pups in. Anyway, so anyway,
welcome,
these
time
pictures are like for a long time they were considered like the biggest proof of fairies, and later on these were Let me just play this right quick. All right.
Okay.
Anyway.
The Cottingley Fairies. In today's technologically advanced world, it's hard to know whether photos are photoshopped or real. But you wouldn't think that would be the case in the early 1900s. The Cottingley Fairies have stumped people around the world for years, and it's only recently we've learned the truth. Or have we? The Cottingley Fairies are little fairy creatures that appear in 5 photographs with 2 young cousins, Frances and Elsie. The photos of the young girls, aged 16 and 9, were taken by Elsie Wright and Frances Griffin, who lived in the early 1900s until the late 1980s. In 4 of the photos, the girls appear to be posing with fairies around them. The 5th photo is purely of the fairies. Writer Sir Arthur Conan Doyle came across the photos and used them in an article he wrote about fairies. As a spiritualist, he was adamant the photos were proof of the existence of fairies. Many others thought they were real as well, but some people were naturally skeptical. By the 1920s, most people had forgotten about the photos, including their views on whether or not they were real. However, the possibilities of their existence still lingered at the backs of people's minds. A Daily Express newspaper tracked down one of the photographers, Elsie, in 1966, and she admitted the photos were fake. They had used cardboard cutouts from a children's book. However, both admitted that the fifth photo was genuine. To this day, the cameras and photos sit in the Natural Science and Media Museum in Bradford, England. While Elsie and Francis were happy to admit the photos were fake, with the use of a darkroom to play with the background and foreground, they weren't so sure about the final photo. The girls went off on their own with the camera, and the father who owned the camera had never tampered with that final photo as he had with the others. So we can say without a doubt that 4 of the 5 photos are fake, but we may never know if the 5th and final one is.
Fake! Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Fake. Well, I mean, yes, I know they've been debunked. They said so in the clip. Does he even watch this show?
Fairly Odd Parents. Yes. Yes.
I mean, does
what
he
a
even
great
watch?
show.
He's like, that's being debunked. Yes, of course it's being debunked. They said so.
No,
Yes.
well,
Yes.
in the Time Prophet's defense,
Anyway.
he said that before it actually said that in the video.
Yes.
On my end, it popped up.
Yeah.
before
Yeah,
that.
he did.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
He's
all
right.
Whatever. Anyway. Okay. So there are more
See, he
evidence.
said he did
There
it
is
right,
more
he did it.
evidence though.
There we go.
Yeah, most people do. It's a pretty famous story. Arthur Conan Doyle was funny thing about it was Sherlock Holmes was like all about factual stuff, but Arthur Conan Doyle was kind of like a nutcase. He was he believed in everything. Funny thing about it was his best buddy was Houdini, who was like the biggest debunker of spiritual things.
Right.
And so you have the biggest the guy who financed the most spiritual pursuits, best friends with the guy who debunks all the spiritualists, and so that had to be a very fascinating relationship. There was actually a show for a little bit called Houdini and Doyle. It was really good. It only lasted 1 season, but I really enjoyed it. But anyway, so there are some more. There's more proof that I've looked up, and this first one is I knew about this one.
Time Prophet in the chat says I'm a bigger debunker than Houdini, and I don't get locked in a glass case full of water. I hope not.
No.
It's a glass case full of whiskey.
That's not actually how he died. That's not actually how he died.
Did he die of like a ruptured
you need to check
something?
Yeah.
He died of a ruptured spleen because somebody hit him when he wasn't paying attention. And he didn't go to the doctor, because of his high pain tolerance. So you might want to do your research on that one. Anyway, not that you ever research because you know everything. Anyway.
He does.
All right.
He's the time prophet.
He's the time prophet. The prophet of time.
So this first one is from North Carolina, actually from my home state, and this is from Wilmington, north towards the coast.
There's fairies there?
I've actually seen.
There's
Well,
fairies there?
let me play the clip.
Okay, play the clip, please.
There may have been. I don't know.
Maybe they're washed away by
Okay,
so
Fairy skeleton. Is it the remains of a marmoset? Is it a falcon's prey? Or is it what a North Carolina man says it is? A real-life fairy. In 2017, a Wilmington, North Carolina man, James Cornyn, stumbled across a tiny skeleton in a falcon nest in the Rocky Mountains. The photos show what looks to be a tiny human-like skeleton and were posted by Beyond the Science and Historical Pictures online. The photos have stirred up some hot debate, with thousands of shares and comments arguing whether or not the photo does indeed show a fairy or some some other creature that looks eerily similar in body structure. According to the Post, the supposed pixie bones are now located in a German facility where other convention-defying biological specimens are stored. We may never know whether the remains are that of a pixie or fairy, but it's hard to deny that there are few other creatures that it could be.
That's crazy. I mean, it does look like it could be real bones, but
It might be a real creature, but I don't know.
It's got no shoulder blades.
I'm not exactly convinced. I was thinking it was maybe like an aborted fetus or something, but
Yeah.
That's why I was
The
thinking.
guy looks like the guy from Moonshiners.
Well, what I loved about that clip was there's somebody wrote beneath it. Anyway, somebody wrote beneath it basically R.I.P. Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
That was funny. I saw it.
Well, that one in particular.
Hey, not Brian.
Not Brian.
Hey, not Brian. That one's a really interesting one.
Yep.
I mean, that one's a really interesting one because it's that skull looks humanoid and
it does.
The skeleton,
it really does.
Yeah.
And
it does.
And so I mean, I'm not really entirely sure how you would fake that, but I mean, I'm sure there is possible, but that's a really good one.
To be that
all right.
small, you would really have to do it would be the work that you'd have to do on that would have to be excruciatingly long, meticulous.
Yeah.
To be able to create something like that.
The bones were aged.
But...
Yeah. Right. The bones were like aged and everything. And the fact it was found in a falcon's nest in the Rocky Mountains. I mean, if anybody's going to prey upon the fairies, it would be a falcon,
Yeah. I mean, that's the claim anyway.
Right.
How the hell did they end up in some place in Germany though?
I don't know. Well, I mean, if they're worldwide, I mean, there's those mythologies all across the planet having to do with fairy folk. So, I mean, that couldn't just be concentrated in one area.
Wait. Hold on. There's a word from our sponsor, the Time Prophet. According to the last video, fairies only take human form, so they wouldn't have bones.
Why? Are they formless?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Like water. Be water, my friend.
So,
be water.
It is what it is. It's a break. It's a Time Prophet break for him to spew whatever nonsense comes into his head. Anyway, so there are some more skeletons that were found across the planet. This is from
he's
Thailand.
the prophet of time.
So he's
something guitar player.
Anyway, so okay, this is the ones from Thailand. These are world famous and they've been shown multiple times. So here you go.
In Thailand, there is a place where 2 mummified bodies are exposed in a glass box for people to view. They're called flower fairies. Do you think they are real?
What is that? The Jeepers Creepers embryos?
Looks like an action figure out of Pan's Labyrinth.
No shit.
Well, I found I actually found a longer one. Bone in. There you go. All right. Right. I actually found a longer one later, but I didn't have time to clip it. But that is actually National Geographic actually did a whole entire show on these things. And
those things look like, seriously, they look like the creature from freaking Jeepers Creepers at the end of the movie where it shrivels up and its face gets covered and all that crap.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, it's like That's
Of course it
crazy.
does, huh?
Well,
Oh,
I mean, who knows? Maybe Jeepers Creepers is based that guy is based on a fairy. I don't know. You know.
you never know, eh?
Who knows? Who knows?
A very large,
well,
pissed off fairy.
Very big mute.
Yeah,
Big
there you
mute.
go. There you go.
Big mute.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, I actually found some other ones that are like more active like videos of fairies, like more motion oriented. We covered the pictures, we covered the actual like corpses. So
Yeah.
let's get some actual footage. Let's just
Yeah.
see some.
Yeah, I
actual
was going to
footage.
say.
Check this
Okay.
out.
Let's
All right.
do this.
This one is from a trail cam. So here you go.
Trail cam
Roll the
footage.
Photoshop.
People have desperately been trying to prove the existence of fairies for centuries, but it could have been as simple as putting out a trail cam. A YouTuber by the name of My Slice of Heaven Outdoors uploaded trail cam footage to YouTube after spotting something a little bit odd in 2019. The man said he had been checking the cameras on his property in Missouri when he noticed wings to the side of the camera. At that point, you couldn't see what the creature was, if anything at all. Near the end of the footage, however, the critter comes into view. Because it's at night, it's hard to tell with certainty what it is. It also moves at great speed, which makes it increasingly difficult. However, some YouTubers have their own opinions. Some say it looks 100% real, while others believe it's an insect of some kind. Whatever it is, it looks every bit like a fairy and very little like anything else.
That's the moth from Bug's Life.
yeah. There you go. The moth
Yeah.
from Bug's Life.
That's what it say.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Well,
definitely an insect of some kind.
yeah, I there was several ones that were like well, I mean, there's several other ones that were like they're static like photos, and I didn't use those. I didn't give any
That one
credence
you
to those
sent,
because
that one
obviously
you
you can
sent me.
Photoshop.
That one you sent me, buddy, that one in the backyard or wherever the hell it was to those kids, that was kind of interesting. That one is, it's kind of a big old question mark because it's like no insect I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, I'm going to say that one for last. That's the one. That's my star. I used it in the opening crawl. So anyway, all right.
Could be.
Well,
could be.
We'll have to do research on that, Time Prophet.
I'm sure fairies have parkours, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Now that you mention it, yeah.
But
well, there's parkours and
all right.
fairies.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so let's check this one out.
This video was taken by a young couple right in their apartment. A strange, small, luminous creature that resembles a fairy. This creature moved very quickly and chaotically right in front of the camera, as if posing or even trying to say something. Upon further examination, the silhouette of a tiny little man with wings is clearly visible. What is it? Moth? Montage? Or real shots of a previously unknown creature? Maybe it is the representative of an entire micro-civilization hiding somewhere near us. What do you think?
Splat goes with the fly swatter.
That's a wasp.
It could be. You know, it's funny that reminds me of a what they call a mosquito hawk. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those guys. Those things are pretty good. They're kind of like, they look like a fucking giant mosquito, but with a little bit of difference. But they're huge.
Well, that one's
much,
that was like glowing though, right? So
yeah, but I mean,
Jenny long leg. Yeah, it's a daddy long leg.
It's a Jenny long leg. Yeah,
that's what it is. A fucking daddy long legs. Pain in the arse, those things.
Is it just me? But why did people
all right,
film
okay, not convincing. Okay, how about?
We're gonna start doing Al Pacino here. Give me all you got.
Okay.
Give me
well,
all your
yeah.
Ah.
All right.
Waiting for
Let's try it.
This video was shot late at night on a security camera. According to the guy who shot this video, when viewing it, he discovered something strange. For the answer, he turned to YouTube, calling his video, "Real Fairies I Caught on My Security Camera." The audience explained to him that he was mistaken and captured a moth. But the guy remained true to his convictions, as his theory was supported by a lot of people. You can tell us your take on this creature in the comments below the video. This video was taken by a young couple right in their apartment. A strange, small, luminous creature that resembles a fairy. This creature moved very quickly and chaotically right in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Like it's glowing.
Okay.
Either way,
like
I'm squishing it.
Yep.
It's a bird.
Squishing it.
It's a
Yeah.
bird.
Yeah, his theory was supported by all the people in the trailer park.
Yeah.
I happen to live in a trailer, time prophet, so up yours. Anyway. You elitist prick. All right. Anyway. So.
Hey now.
And so does Wookie. So does
Hey
Wookie.
now.
So there you go. All right.
Yes. I actually
All right,
live in a trailer park with a bunch of Mexicans, so yeah.
How racist of you?
Okay.
There's no fairies around here.
They go, orale.
Okay, let's try this one.
In this video, we see a person enter the room, but then he returns, as if someone's barely audible voice made him return. And most likely not in vain, since he became the rare witness of something really inexplicable and improbable. Directly near him circled the two most real-looking fairies. And do you believe in fairies, guys? We are waiting for your comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.
Now, he's looking down in that last few frames, and both of these supposed, alleged fairies are flying away, up and away to the, to his right. But he's looking down
right.
on the, he's looking down. Like, what the fuck are you looking at?
Well, my thing is, okay, the picture and everything is very clear, except for the goddamn fairies.
Yeah. Mexican. Hey, he's not Mexican. He's mostly Spanish.
Look like
they're
birds,
white,
Birds, moths,
it's like
dragonflies,
Louis
something.
thing.
I don't know.
It's
I'm
weird.
looking.
I mean, he
Right.
might have heard
Right.
something to come back in and open the door to look. He could have heard something. Could have been anything. Oftentimes, and you can hear like larger insects at night, hitting against the light fixture outside.
Yeah.
They'll hit it, this like little tapping or thumping. And he could have heard something like that on the window or something.
Yeah.
And open the door to see what it was. But these things obviously didn't have his attention because he was looking down. I mean, if one of them flew right in front of his line of sight and then flew down and then up, and he ended up just moving down to look at the floor. So I don't know. I mean, they could have been put in the video.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
he didn't see him. I don't know, or whatever. But the funny thing is they all glow. So what the hell is with that?
Yeah.
You also
Yeah.
forgot one other thing. They float.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they glow. I don't know.
That's something different there. Anyway, I guess Tim Curry could be considered a fairy. I don't know. So all right. Okay. So let's play this last one. There we go.
Mankind proudly says it is at the top of the food chain, studies the cosmos and dreams of the colonization of other planets. But why look at the sky when under your feet can be amazing and incredible creatures inhabiting it? None of these people could have assumed that their ordinary home video cameras would capture such incredible footage. This father and his 3 children walked around the garden. At one point, one of the children was alerted by a strange sound coming from the apple tree. As the child got closer to the source of the sound, the wings of a creature fall onto the camera. But after a moment, the creature takes off and we see a small, fragile body similar to a man.
What's that? What's what? What are the insects? Oh my god.
This video was shot late at night on a security camera. According to the guy who shot this video, when viewing it, he discovered something strange.
So the infrared light on the camera is what makes them glow. Okay. That makes sense.
So what do you think? So what do you think about that last one there, guys? It's a bug?
That last one.
I didn't look like a bug.
That's the most interesting, most realistic looking thing I've seen so far.
It's my last.
Yeah, that's the one I was. That's the one you sent me. That one. Yeah, that one is leaving the question. Like, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
I've watched that one multiple times, and
I've seen it several times to try to figure out what the hell.
I would say it's the best footage we've seen. It's the clearest of anything. So, seems the more realistic of them all. I don't know if it's true or not, though.
Yeah, you could hear the wings.
You heard something.
Definitely hear the flapping of the wings. It definitely had high speed. You could hear the audio in the background, so the speed of the film was not sped up. So it was on, I don't know.
Well, I mean, if it was computer generated,
I might have had the same reaction as the cameraman there for a split second. Like,
I mean, they took off. I mean, that's kind of like a realistic, that's pretty realistic a reaction if you saw a little man with wings flying around.
Yep.
He's a big wasp.
All right.
Wasps don't fly upright though.
No, they don't. They don't fly upright. And I mean, it definitely had a human, like a
shape. Yeah, the upper torso
almost.
Definitely,
almost.
But it definitely was humanoid. It definitely had like the extended legs and everything. That and the skeleton were probably the 2 best that I saw. The 2 best, most
skeleton,
like
and
convincing things I saw.
Yep.
Roughly the same shape, the same size too. So, if I was going to believe anything I've seen, go ahead.
Yeah, that last footage that would be one of those ones where I think it would be difficult to debunk.
Yeah.
Given that it blows me away, really. Everything else you can come up with, it's a bug or it was a this or a that or whatever. That didn't have the look of a known or any bugs that I've ever seen. Insects.
Well, their voices sound like they were English as well, I think.
So
yeah, it's from England somewhere.
Yeah. So we don't really get exotic bugs here, to be brutally honest. So
If I saw a tiny man flying around, I'd assume it was Tom Cruise filming a new movie.
Yeah.
Yes, not Brian. Yes. Hang on a second.
I believe he was a fairy in Legend. So there you go.
I've not seen that. I don't think.
Time Prophet says your mind tries to make sense of shapes it does not understand, and sometimes your mind.
In other words,
something
don't
think it's
believe your lying eyes.
pareidolia. Yeah.
Yeah.
When a praying mantis flies, it looks like a fairy sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I can. Yeah, I've seen some pretty damn big ones too. Damn praying mantis. But
well,
the way
it is what it is. I mean,
yeah. Again, that picture of something that was flying upright in a vertical position, not a horizontal. Most insects will be at like a horizontal type of situation, not a vertical. I've been told we are not allowed to call them fairies anymore.
Hate speech! Hate speech!
What do we call them then, Time Prophet? Please explain it.
We call them congressmen, I think. Anyway.
Politicians.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
And army officers. Anyway, and choir members who are coming for your children. But anyway, so all right. You want to watch that one? You watch that last one again, maybe?
Yes, let's take a look at that one again. That was
pause it. Right. Can you pause it? Can you pause it on the beastie? So we can see it.
The beastie.
I don't think I can pause it. No.
No, I don't think you can. On the.
Well, they did right before. Right before they showed the actual footage, they did show a paused picture of it. So just pay attention for that.
Mankind proudly says it is at the top of the food chain, studies the cosmos, and dreams of the colonization of other planets. But why look at the sky when under your feet can be amazing and incredible creatures inhabiting it? None of these people could have assumed that their ordinary home video cameras would capture such incredible footage. This father and his 3 children walked around the garden. At one point, one of the children was alerted by a strange sound coming from the apple tree. As the child got closer to the source of the sound, the wings of a creature fall onto the camera. But after a moment, the creature takes off and we see a small, fragile body, similar to a man.
What's that? What? Insects. Oh my god.
This video was shot late at night on a security camera.
Yeah, his reaction was telling.
Right.
It definitely wasn't File 13 because the helicopter didn't crash. Hey, now quit bagging on the man. He's getting better flying those helicopters.
Anyway, so
now, I think the guy's reaction was kind of telling into that. It surprised him.
Yeah,
you know, it was really a surprise.
Well, I mean,
like I would probably have the same reaction.
Well, I mean, it freaked the kids out too. So,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, kids are horrible actors. So that reaction from them was good. Was interesting. It was convincing.
Yeah.
So, out of all the evidence we've seen, the skeleton and that one, probably the two that I can't explain away.
I agree with you on that. Because, in my opinion, to try to reproduce that skeleton,
a lot of the photographic evidence is just
try to reproduce that skeleton is mighty difficult.
Yeah. Anyway. So, obviously, Time Prophet is debunked, obviously. But let's check everybody else on the planet. Everybody else that actually has an open mind. So, yeah, there you go. But, let's,
strange that UFOs and fairies are always filmed in shaky cam when every camera has stabilization too.
Not handheld.
Yeah.
Not handheld. No. Nope. Not handheld. Anyway, let me. I don't have anybody in my chat, so I guess the poll will have to be yours today.
Let's take a look. See. Well, let me get over here to the poll and take a look and see. Wow! Holy crap!
Hold on.
So, I got 4 votes on my poll right now.
Yeah, you've got all the people today.
Three of them are debunked, and 1 is confirmed.
Yeah. Well, how about that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. Well, I've got a confirmed and undecided over here. Gonna end the poll, so I got 1 confirmed, 1 undecided. Thank you for the 2 that voted. All right. What's your numbers?
It's 75% for debunked and 25% for confirmed. So 4 votes.
All right.
4 votes. So three for debunked and 1 for confirmed.
Okay. So so add in so undecided. I got 1 undecided, 1 confirmed. So add into the confirms. That's that'll be 3 debunked, 2 confirmed with the poll. And okay, so let's get the panel. So I'm gonna go with I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle on this one. That footage and the skeleton, I can't explain them away, but there's not exactly a preponderance of actual clues or actual proof. So this one I'm gonna have to say in the middle. I think there might be something out there. I don't know, but I don't think it's Oh, you didn't confirm. Yeah, surprise. Yep, whatever. But of course, to you, Time Prophet, everything is fake. So I mean, that's your world that you live in. So dark and bleak as it is. All right, so Abby, undecided.
Well, I am confirming park horrors and debunking fairies.
Okay, so you're on debunked. Alrighty. Cool. What do you think, man?
Well, I'm just going to say I'm in the middle. I'm not necessarily convinced by the footage we've seen, but it's one of these situations where these stories have to come from somewhere. So,
all right.
Myths, legends, etc. So I think I'm in the middle.
Okay.
I'm stuck between in the middle and undecided.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm leaning more to in the middle. There's got to be something to
Alrighty. Yeah. There is an awful lot of lore and across like civilizations, across countries, and pretty much planet wide. There's a lore about these creatures being here, and so while there's not a lot of preponderance of proof, the circumstantial evidence seems to point to there being something out there. So I mean, like I said, I think I'm sticking in the middle. Yeah, there you go.
I'm on my chair.
But
I'm not on a wall.
No, he's not on a wall. He's in the famous chair.
He's in the chair.
I'm in the chair. Wow.
Wow.
The chair.
Well, it looks like tonight Time Prophet wins. So got to go with.
Yay! Time Prophet! Woo! Yay! Pudding, pudding, yay!
Mm-hmm. So I guess we're basically living in the cold, dead, unmagical, unspiritual, boring world that we're.
There's no fantasy.
Isn't it great?
Depression, darkness everywhere.
Yeah, embrace the darkness, embrace the nihilism, and
yes, exactly.
Yeah, embrace the totally unspiritual, just cold, dead existence, and just love the nihilism, and just like wrap it around and just choke with
Buddy,
it.
what did you meet one of my ex-wives?
I feel like I have. So
stay away.
Anyway,
we feel sorry for you for doing so.
Oh, shit.
Anyway. Well, I live in entirely. I live in an entirely different world. I live in a world, pretty much steeped with spirituality and like possibilities. Mountains of Appalachia. Just
the second one probably did.
Oof.
So. If he wasn't a fairy when she ran off with him, he probably became one later. So,
or
anyway.
Killed himself.
Oh boy.
Well. Anyway, no, great subject.
Okay.
You and my Uncle Steve got a contest going on, Wookie?
What?
You and my Uncle Steve got a contest going on or something that I need to know about, Wookie?
There's no contest. He's the winner. He's the winner.
He's the winner.
He's the winner.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right.
She did you.
Okay. So basically, so next week is going to be we're going to bounce back to conspiracy. So anybody have a conspiracy they would love to cover?
Ruby Ridge.
Ruby Ridge. That's
Ruby
a deep
Ridge.
one.
Okay.
That could be a little prickly one there. Ruby Ridge.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. You know what? It's a shame. It's a shame you missed the freaking last week's one.
I know.
That's your cup of tea.
Well, I did go watch the documentary again because of that.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Which documentary did you watch?
I watched the one that was on Netflix, Tread.
Oh, well, that was written by that journalist that hated his guts.
Right.
So
I need to find a more definitive one.
Laura Lodge did a really good one.
Okay.
That's a real good one. Yeah. There's another one I have to send you later. That's really good. I can't remember the name of it though.
We'll see.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, so okay, Ruby Ridge.
Ruby Ridge. Oh shit.
Why not? Why don't we do a twofer? Ruby Ridge and Waco.
Holy shit! There we go.
That could lead into Oklahoma City as well.
Yeah, holy shit. There we go. We're really going to screw with the FBI now.
Good.
Yeah, we're going to get shut down.
Yeah,
that sounds rather explosive.
What?
Yeah,
yeah. So what we say was the FBI wrong about Ruby Ridge and Waco?
Oh my
Were they justified?
Well, you want me to give my opinion now or next week?
Holy shit.
Well, there you go. There you go. But we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out for next week.
Yeah.
Well, remember, it's just a conspiracy.
Well,
it's a conspiracy.
Well,
there's a lot
it's
of
the conspiracy week.
About
Yep.
But
all right. Well, we'll just stick with Ruby Ridge. We won't include Waco, but we'll just stick with Ruby Ridge. And we'll just was the FBI right about Ruby Ridge? How about that? And then we'll just go from there. No. There you go.
What if it's lemony fresh flavor?
What about Mountain Spring?
Yes, exactly. Mountain Spring.
Ruby Ridge. Ruby Ridge. It's a Yank thing. You won't be interested in it, Time Prophet, because nothing happens outside of Europe and England. So in your world. So we'll just talk about it. We'll just talk about it. It's an American thing. You wouldn't understand or you wouldn't care. We're lower life forms over here, according to you. No. Us lower life forms will talk about what happened over here.
Lower life forms.
There you go.
So
us lower life form Americans will be talking about a Yank thing next week. So there you go.
Shameless plug. Tomorrow morning on the weekend review, it's come back, episode 5. We're talking about the cabinet picks from the next president incoming. Yes, and why heads are exploding.
There you go.
So don't be
interesting.
And stock markets are dropping.
Yes, stock markets are dropping, and people are threatening to quit en masse in the government. Hallelujah.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
even though I work in the pharmaceutical markets.
Well, when did the stock markets drop? I mean, they've been going through the roof since.
Well, the pharmaceutical companies, since RFK has been
HHS
dropped.
Oh, yeah,
they dropped.
Those are going to drop. Those are going to drop.
You might be out of a job, Abby. Holy shit.
Oh well.
What's really interesting to me is it's kind of like when he mentioned when he basically there you go. Anyway, when he there you go. But when they announced Matt Gaetz, it's like when you flip over a rock and all these bugs start crawling away.
Yes, exactly. Holy crap! The cockroaches
I saw somebody
fleeing.
today that said
turn the lights on.
Yeah, I saw something today about that they're thinking that Kash Patel is going to be the FBI director.
Oh, would that not be freaking rich? Oh my god, that would be freaking.
Well, it's funny. All the people that were most affected by these entities are the ones that Trump's putting in charge.
Yeah,
and it's because it's like Kristi Noem was like put in charge of Interior, and she's been fighting against the land grab against the ranchers and farmers in North Dakota.
Right.
And so now she's going to be over that. So it's like Trump is like saying, okay, who's pissed you off the most? Okay, I'm going to put that person in charge of the people that pissed them off the most.
Ooh, I just thought of one, Bunny. I just thought of another option, Bunny, for next week as well. Up to you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The whole Bundy Ranch and Bunker Hill incident in Nevada. several years ago.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
Yes, grazing rights.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Up to you, Bunny.
I don't think that's going to be as interesting as Ruby Ridge, so we'll
Okay.
just stick to Ruby Ridge.
Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
yeah, that rabbit hole is it's still a little fresh, so we'll probably get like struck up. There's
Well,
video
that
games.
one bled into the Malheur thing in Oregon.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. Yep.
Right. All right. So next week we're going to do Ruby Ridge, and we'll put the rest of it on the back burner for later. So, all right. We're going to do Ruby Ridge next week. All
right. And then tomorrow morning, we're doing, weekend review with all the heads are going to explode. It's going to be fun.
All right.
So don't miss it.
No problem.
And
all right. Thank you all for coming
it,
tonight, everybody. That's I don't know. I actually go to church on Sunday mornings, so
Yeah.
I'll see.
Well,
I'll see when I get home. If you're still going when you get home, I'll try to hop on.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, I'll try to join you heathens maybe. So
yes, us sinners.
So thank you everybody for showing up in the chat and Time Prophet, and we will see you next week.
All righty.
And
thanks everybody in the chat.
Bye everybody.
Have
a good
Bye everybody.
B-Dog, everybody.
See you next week. Same cryptid channel, same conspiracy time. So later, get it. Bye everybody.
All righty.